It's Julia. I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to, before I begin my video today, I just announced that Arteza is having a giveaway to 2 lucky winners. They're giving away 2, like I said, $100 gift cards. The requirements are really easy to enter, and there will be more about that later in this video. This week I have been working on bobbin embroidery. Doesn't this look like it's hand stitched? It is all done on your sewing machine with special cording in the bobbin. And in this video I'm going to just share some hints and tricks that I have found doing this throughout the years and just sharing my process. I hope you enjoy it. Bobbin embroidery can get very messy on the back side, and so I do like to cover up the back. Love using these 5-inch wooden hoops. And Arteza had sent me some wooden easels, and these little 5-inch hoops fit perfectly on them. This is such a great way to present your work or make wonderful gifts as well. I love the construction on these with a little dowel at the top. That 5-inch hoop just fits so nice on there. I have my design drawn out on my piece of paper. I'm going to be using water-soluble stabilizer to trace my design. And so I do have a piece of Osnaburg cloth that I'm going to be using. Osnaburg is similar to linen. It's real slubby. And that's cut 7 by 7 because it's going in a 5-inch hoop. And my stabilizer also is cut 7 inches by 7 inches. I'm using a Uniball pen to trace my design onto this water-soluble. I'm using this water-soluble just because I can see through it really well. But in this instant, you can also use like a tissue or anything that you can just see the design through. I love these Uniball pens because they dry really quickly. I find that ballpoint pens do not write on this Solvy. When you're left-handed, you realize how important it is for pens to dry quickly because your hand is pretty much on your design. Just getting that little flowers. This is not a good design to start if you're a beginner at doing this. It has a lot of stops and starts to it, and there's just a lot of threads on the back side for stopping and starting so much. But I'm just going to power through here. I do use a couple different kinds of cording on this design, and so I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to hoop this. Now notice how I flipped this over because this is the back side. So I wanted my design to be in the same position on the front side, so I flipped that over. And then I'm hooping this with a tension hoop. This is a great hoop to use underneath your sewing machine for free motion. This is my mom's tin, and it always held her embroidery floss, and a lot of this is still from her original pile. So it's been with me my whole life, and it just is so dear to me. But I'm picking out a green. I'm going to be doing the stem of this design in the green, just regular green floss, and I'm using all 6 strands. You do have to hand wrap your bobbin. A little bit about the bobbin case. When I used to do a lot of this, I purchased a second bobbin case and marked it with a little bit of fingernail polish, and then I loosened the tension screw on this one, so I knew it was just for bobbin work. There's that little screw, and I just loosened that. Now when I do it, I usually don't even use this one. I use my regular bobbin case, and I don't mess with that screw at all. But if I'm using a heavier cord, I usually go back to the one with the screw that's a little bit loose. Some people are just feel funny about messing with that tension screw, and so I wanted you to let you know that you try it with your regular bobbin case without doing any tension adjusting. I'm at my sewing machine now, and I'm using a thread that somewhat matches this color in my top thread. And I'm just raising up that, or getting that bobbin thread out, just like you normally do when you're starting to sew. I do have my free motion foot on. I'm going to be free motioning this stem on. You don't have to use free motion. You could just use a straight stitch as well. You can even use your decorative stitches when you use this bobbin work like this. And I'm just following that mark all the way up on the stem. Now this is the back side, so that bobbin is going to be, thread is going to be on the front side of your work. I do like to leave quite a bit of thread before I cut, both on the top and that heavier DMC floss on the bottom. You want at least a 3 or 4 inch tail, because you're going to want to bring those threads to the back side and tie them off. And now you can see I have those threads hanging there, and I'm just going to take a needle and bring those to the back. I'm using a tapestry needle here with a bigger eye or bigger needle hole, and just getting them to the back, and then I'm just going to tie those off. I'm back to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to be using the same in my bobbin thread, and I'm going to free motion these leaves on. This is regular speed here. I'm not speeding this up at all. Just going back and forth and just drawing with my thread. Heading back over to do the other leaf and just filling it in. And again, pulling it out and leaving a tail. And this is again what it looks like on the right side. And then just taking those ends, and then again threading them through a needle and pulling them to the other side, and we'll be tying those off. And I'm just clipping these. I don't clip them really tight to the knot. And now I'm going to use this same green thread both in the top and the bottom, and I'm going to be filling in just these little stems where my and the reason why I'm doing this is I'm not going to be putting that heavier cording in the bobbin for these little stems. I hope that makes sense. It's just too much. It's going to get too thick and just too many stops and starts. So I'm just using regular thread for these shorter little stems. I'm just following my stem all the way up, just traveling right on that stem, and then just filling in the rest of these little ones. And this is what it looks like with all the green done. I'm using a satin covered cording for the flowers. So taking another bobbin and winding the cord around the bobbin. And then using a similar color thread for the top. I'm at my sewing machine again, and so that satin cording is in the bobbin thread, and I have my regular top stitch in that fuchsia color, and then I am just using my free motion again, and filling in these little flowers. And here I am again clipping my threads, and this, you do have to clip your threads after each one of these little flowers, and then I'll be just moving it on to the next. And I got all my little flowers done, and I've pulled most of my threads already to the back. I have one last one to do here. And again, these are the tapestry needles that I'm using with that longer eye in them. Just getting that last one pulled through. And then you're going to see the mess on the other side in a second here. I'm just tying and clipping. I don't even tie them all. They seem to be quite knotted up, and I'm leaving a big thread on the back so they won't pull out. Just on to finishing my back of my hoop. I just want to cut a circle. This is just a polyester felt. I just had a piece of brown that I had in my stash, so I'm using that up. Just do around that wooden hoop and then just cutting this out. I'm using my fabric tac glue and just going to be gluing this wooden, just on top of that wooden hoop, just folding in my piece as I go along, and then using my clips to keep everything held in place until that glue completely dries. And then just working my way all the way around this. Bobbin embroidery can be a little bit of trial and error, but the finished result can be so fun, and I hope you have a chance to give this a try. More about the giveaway. Arteza sells a lot of art supplies, many different types, but they also have a lot of things for sewers or people who like to craft with fabric. They have the fabric markers, they have the fabric paints, they have the cutters and the rulers and the mats, and so a lot of different things. And so I really felt that this giveaway, I wanted to announce it because it's really easy requirements. You do have to go to the video that I'm going to link down below, and I believe you just have to do two things. You have to subscribe to Arteza, and you do that through their video, and you also have to leave a comment on that video about why art is important to you. And in that video it tells you a little bit more about the giveaway. So I hope you hop on over there and enter, and good luck. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.